Well, hey, what's happening, everybody? Been working on the Firebird, and last time we left off, I think we had just tacked the patch in. So we got it all done. It's all patched in. Had to make a couple spots because the fender was so rusted away. We had to make this spot here because this supports this whole piece here. And this was all rusted away. And then this part here that bolts into the wheel well, ended up having to make a pattern, cut this out, and make this piece down here because it was just so out of the way. So now all we got to do is get some putty on this, get her smoothed out. So it's looking pretty good. The other fender we went ahead and patched up the rust holes down here. So we got this all patched up. Got to do some sanding on this yet. Get this done. Let's see. This lower baffle pan, this thing was bent to pieces. It was all bent up right across here. So I went ahead and straightened this whole thing out. Still got a little bit of a bend right here, but it's just gonna have to do. This thing was a mess. It was just all bent to hell. So got that straightened out pretty good. And the other thing we did is we got our valance painted. The trip over the old one. So we got the. Hang on a minute. Tom, can you hold this? So much junk in this garage. We got dust all over it now. But we got the lower valance painted. And I'd say this is probably a really good match. So I'm going to hit it with some buffing compound to bring out the shine a little bit. Now this is done with a spray can that I had the body shop or the paint shop mix up. So went ahead and I stripped it down and sanded it, primed it, and painted it. So it actually came out real well. I think if I put a little bit of buffing compound on it, it'll smooth it out a lot more. I haven't even messed with trying to buff it, but it'll probably bring it out quite a bit more. So I'm real happy with it. The match is pretty good. And another thing we did is we tried using the paint we got from the body shop. We had a scuff right here along the quarter panel. There was a scuff right here. So I went ahead and hit it with some sandpaper and put a little bit of primer on it, and we went ahead and just fogged it in with some of that paint. And I think we got a freaking exact match here. I mean, this is so close. I mean, you might be able to see it in the sunlight, I don't know, but sitting here in the garage with the doors open, it doesn't look bad at all. I think if I hit that with the buffer, it's going to blend in real well. So basically that's what we've got going on here. It's about what we've gotten done. Weather hasn't been real cooperative with us. It was what, cold last week. We couldn't really do anything. It was just all cold and rainy, and so you just can't. We can only do so much because we got to pull one car out if we're cutting and grinding, and stuff just goes everywhere. So, and then I haven't been able to paint because we haven't had warm enough weather to do anything with. So I was off since Wednesday this week, so we were able to get a lot of stuff caught up and done on this car. So, but that's where we stand right now. So we'll go ahead and hopefully, I don't know how much work we're going to get next week because they're calling for rain pretty much all week next week from the way it looks. So I think we might try, if that's going to be the case, we might just try and work on this bumper and just see what we can do with the bumper. and figure out how the hell that all comes apart, because we don't know. So yeah, we're gonna get an education. It's right down there. So
yeah, that's gonna be an education how that comes apart.
yeah. So all right, well that's it for now. As we get stuff done, we'll get back to you. Back with you again, doing some more work on the Firebird. Yesterday I sanded down the passenger fender and got it all in primer. So it's looking pretty good. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over it with some 800 grit and smooth all this out. And then we're going to try and shoot it with some paint. See if we could put some color on this thing. So that's the plan for today. See if we can get this thing into some color. Like I said, working on things slowly but surely. Hopefully we can get this thing into some color. And then that'll be done. So let me get to work. Oh, here I'm back. I sanded the fender down and I went to show you guys the sanded fender, and the damn camera went dead. So it's been in there charging, so you didn't really miss much. I just sanded it down, but we did get one thing done. We got the fender in color. So there it is. She's painted. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty uniform. I don't see any splotches. I think I see one right there. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Probably not. But it's looking pretty good. I'm just letting it sit here and dry. So this is all done with spray cans. Took about 2 spray cans to paint this. So back side of it. So it's looking pretty good. I think it looks good for using a spray can. So, and I'm no painter, so I'm pretty happy with it. At least it's a color. It looks like it'll probably be pretty close to the car. I guess we'll find out once we get the fender put on and we buff everything out and buff everything in. If you look at the car here, you can see this one spot that I had done on it. There was a scuff right here. I think I showed this to you in the last time I taped, but there was a scuff right here along the fender. There was a scuff, and he took the paint off, and I just came out and threw some primer on it and just went ahead and just kind of scuffed it up and hit it. And that's the paint that I used, that I painted the fender with, and it's like almost an exact match. Now I need to rebuff this quarter panel and see how that'll come out. So hopefully that'll come out pretty good. So we're moving along here. So I think the next step, now that we got this fender done, is we're going to go ahead and start working on that driver's fender. I need to putty up that front part we got all welded. So we'll go ahead and get that done. And then start working on the door and get that done. And then once all that stuff's done, we'll work on the front end. Get that front end done, we'll sand that stuff down and paint that stuff. And that should be it. And then we're going to go ahead and I think we're going to clean up under the hood here, because while it's all apart, it would be stupid not to do this. So I figure since everything's going to be blown apart on this car, we're going to pull the wheel wells, we're going to pressure wash all this shit, clean it all up, paint the frame. We're going to put new control arm bushings in, so we'll paint the control arms, take some stuff off the engine block, we'll paint the engine as well as we can. Might as well just clean it all up in here and make it look halfway decent. So that's about where I'm at today. Here comes Tom. He just got off work. I've been laid off, so this will give me time to get some things done. So, all right. Well, that's it for now. When I get more done, I'll get back to you. Thanks. Back to working on the Firebird. I'll give you an update of what we got going on here. Yeah, I got the fender done, as you saw in the last video. went ahead and I buffed it. I buffed the top and I buffed the sides down here to the body line, but I got to finish down below. Looks like it's coming out pretty good. Smoothing it out. It's not great by any means, but I mean the prep is a little crappy on it, but that's all right. This is just a temporary thing, and it's just gonna, you don't want it to look too nice because the prep on the actual car isn't that great. So the fender's looking real good. Started doing body work on the other fender, and as you can see I got that all in putty right now. So just got to go ahead and sand this down. I just went ahead and put a coat on there, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start sanding it, try and get everything looking decent, and we can pull this fender off and we can patch the bottom fender down there, and then we'll move our way to the door and get that done. So that's what we got going on right now, just getting this all finished up, trying to get this thing done. I want to have it done by the end of the month, or hopefully I should, so we can really start busting some ass here, getting some things done. So, but I'm going to go ahead and get back to work here, and as we get things done, I'll bring you back, show you what's going on. Alright. Well, here we are. We're almost done with this thing. Got the body line back in it. Got some primer on it. It's still got a little bit more sanding work to do to it. But this is pretty much how it came out compared to what it was. And that's what we got. So it's actually looking pretty good. Body line's in there. That's looking really decent. Our patch where we patched it's looking real good. So still got to go over it with some more sandpaper and sand it down a little bit more, and then we're going to pull this fender off and we're going to patch that back part, hopefully, if there's enough good metal there. And then I think we're just going to paint this whole fender. We're going to try and spot it in, but there's not going to be it's going to be easier just to strip it down and just paint the whole thing. So we're getting there. Not much more left to do, really, on this fender, just a little bit more. So that's about it for now. Get back to you next time we do some work to it. I think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, isn't it, Tom?
40% chance.
Yeah.
It may be.
It may not.
Late evening.
I'm not sure if we'll do anything tomorrow or not. We'll see. If we do, we'll tape it. Alright. Well, that's it for now. Hey, what's happening, everybody? Back out here working on the Firebird. Yesterday, I got the door ground down where all that Bondo was. And of course we find more holes drilled and stuff like that. I actually used the stud gun today because this was all creased all up in here. It was all pushed in. So actually you can see right here where I ground the studs off, but I pulled all this out today and we got it pretty close. We want to try and get inside the door and see if we can dolly some of this stuff out, and pulled it down here to try and get some of this stuff out of here. So it was dented in all up in this area where the all these holes are drilled. We got to try and get them tapped down because they over pulled everything. So that's what we're working with now, working on this, trying to get this ready so we can start puttying it, get this door done. So I'm probably not going to mess with this. I'm going to leave some character in the car. I'll deal with it later. I just wanted to just take care of this because this is the spot that was all messed up on the car when I bought it. This isn't that bad down here. This crease isn't a big deal. I don't know. I might still fix it. I might not. I don't know. I'm just trying to save a little bit of time. I'll probably run my putty up to here, up something in here and try and paint it from there forward. Well, I don't know, we'll see. But at any rate, it's going pretty good. So we're still working on it, slowly getting stuff done. So I'm hoping I can get some more done on this and get some putty on it. We got to weld all these holes up. So, and then I did the final block on the front fender. I don't have any primer on. I ran out of primer, but that's what we're looking at right now. That's what our final block looks like on it. Looks pretty good. There's going to be some highs and lows and, you know, some stuff, but our body line is real nice. Got the body line in there real good. Everything's looking really good on this. So I'm just going to leave it and go with it. I mean, it won't be perfect, but it's going to be way better than it was before. And if you remember that first video I put out where it showed this thing just all caved in, just look at it now. It's pretty amazing it actually looks this good. A lot of work to get this thing to where it is. So that's where we stand here. I've got to go get some fillable primer, put some more fill primer on it, and we'll block that out. Maybe put a little more on and block it. And then we just got to pull that fender off, and then we got to do the bottom part of it. And then that'll be done, and the fender's done, and then we can paint it. So we're moving right along. I'm hoping to have this thing done by the end of the month, but I don't know. So we'll see. All right, that's all for now.